Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. You've got potential. I know you do. I see it in your eyes and I feel it in your energy. But let me also tell you there are things, bad habits, mindsets, and behaviors that are holding you back. They're eating away at your potential. And you can't keep ignoring them. You can't keep letting them drag you down. You want to be great, then you've got to do the work. And that work starts in your mind. It starts with breaking the habits that are killing your brain, your future, and your success. I'm talking about the habits that are slowly, silently undermining your progress. The ones that don't get enough attention but are doing the most damage. These habits don't need to be big, flashy things. No, they're small, insidious, and they creep up on you when you least expect it. And before you know it, they've taken over, they've put a lock on your mind, and now you're stuck, unable to move forward. I'm here to tell you, break those habits now. You have the power to do it. You just need to recognize them for what they are. And when you do, that's when the change happens. That's when the real work begins. First, let's talk about doubt. I know you felt it. You've had that voice in your head telling you you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you're too old, too young, too inexperienced, too whatever it is that the world tells you you are. But let me tell you something, that voice, it's a liar. And if you listen to it long enough, you'll start to believe it. Don't let that happen. Doubt is poison. It will kill your dreams. It will freeze you in place and make you feel like you're moving in slow motion when everyone else is out there taking risks, making moves, and getting ahead. You've got to shut that voice down. You've got to replace that doubt with confidence, with faith in your own abilities. I'm not saying you should get cocky. I'm not saying you should act like you know everything. But you've got to trust that the work you put in, the discipline you have, and the drive you carry are enough. Don't let doubt whisper in your ear. Stop it in its tracks. Because as long as you're listening to it, you'll never take the next step. You'll never break through to the next level of your life. Now, the second thing you've got to break is the habit of procrastination. Oh yeah, I see you. I see you putting things off for tomorrow, for next week, for someday. You've got dreams, you've got goals. You've got ideas, but you keep waiting. You keep telling yourself you'll do it when the time is right, when you have all the pieces, when everything falls into place. Let me tell you something right now, the time is never going to be perfect. The stars are never going to align in some magical way where all of a sudden you've got everything you need to succeed. You have to create that moment. You have to make that time happen. Procrastination is a lie. It's a trap. And it's keeping you from doing the work that's going to get you where you want to go. Listen, if you want to be successful, you have to act now, not tomorrow, not next month. Today, right now. You want that promotion? Start doing the work. You want to start that business? Start it today. You want to lose weight? Start with one healthy meal. Break the cycle of procrastination by taking one step, even if it's a small one. The more you act, the more momentum you build, the less fear you'll have about starting. The third habit, complacency. You get comfortable. You get used to where you are. You start thinking, this is good enough. This is as far as I can go. That's a dangerous place to be. Complacency will rob you of your growth. It will keep you in the same place year after year. The truth is, you're capable of so much more, but complacency whispers in your ear, telling you to stay put, to not rock the boat. But let me ask you, are you really living your best life right now? Are you really challenging yourself to be the best version of yourself? Or are you just coasting, just getting by? I'll tell you this right now, mediocrity is the enemy of greatness. If you settle for good enough, you'll never push yourself to achieve excellence. So you've got to break that habit. Don't get comfortable. Don't get satisfied with where you are. Push yourself. Challenge yourself. Strive for more. Then there's the habit of negative thinking. If you walk around every day with a negative mindset, you're setting yourself up for failure. The brain is powerful. Whatever you feed it, it will believe. If you constantly focus on the worst case scenario, on the things that could go wrong, then you're going to miss the opportunities, the wins, and the growth that's right in front of you. You've got to flip that script. When you feel negativity creeping in, stop it right there. Catch yourself and reframe it. Think about the possibilities instead of the problems. Think about what you can do, what you can control, instead of all the things that might go wrong. You can't let negative thinking take root in your mind. It'll make you fearful, hesitant, and paralyze you from taking action. You've got to flip the switch and start seeing things for what they are, challenges to overcome, not obstacles to avoid. And then we've got the habit of playing small. How many of you out there are just trying to get by? You're not reaching for the stars. You're not chasing your true potential. You're keeping it safe. You're keeping it small. Why? Because you're afraid of failure. You're afraid of what might happen if you step out of your comfort zone and aim higher. Let me tell you something, fear is normal, but playing small, that's not. You weren't put on this earth to just get by. You weren't made to blend in. You were made to stand out, to rise up, and to make a difference. But if you keep playing small, if you keep holding yourself back, then you'll never know what you're truly capable of. You've got to break that habit. You've got to step up. Aim higher. Dream bigger. Don't let fear keep you in the shadows. Step into the light and show the world who you really are. Next, we've got self-doubt disguised as perfectionism. This one's tricky because it looks like you're trying to be the best, trying to get everything just right. But let's be real here. Perfectionism is a lie. It's a trap. It's just another excuse for not getting started, for not taking risks. You know what? You're never going to get everything perfect. Things will never go as planned. Life will throw curveballs, and that's okay. That's not what matters. What matters is the progress you make, the steps you take, and the lessons you learn along the way. Perfectionism will keep you stuck because you'll never feel ready enough, good enough, or prepared enough to make a move. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. The only perfect moment is the one you create right now. Let's move on to surrounding yourself with the wrong people. Look, we all want to be liked. We want to be accepted. But if you're surrounding yourself with people who aren't challenging you, aren't pushing you to be better, aren't inspiring you to grow, then you're doing yourself a disservice. You need people in your life who are going to push you, who are going to challenge your thinking, and who are going to elevate you to the next level. If you're hanging out with people who only talk about the problems, who are content with mediocrity, doubt is a killer. It stops you from taking action and achieving your potential. The voice that tells you you're not good enough is a lie, and you must shut it down. Replace doubt with confidence and trust in your ability to succeed. Time waits for no one. If you keep putting things off, you'll never move forward. Complacency and waiting for the perfect moment will keep you stuck. Start now. Take action and push yourself beyond your comfort zone. Negative thinking and playing small limit your potential. Stop focusing on what could go wrong and start seeing opportunities. Don't settle for mediocrity. Aim higher and challenge yourself to become the best version of yourself. The people you spend time with matter. If you surround yourself with those who don't challenge or inspire you, you will remain stagnant. Seek out those who push you to grow and elevate your thinking to reach higher levels of success. If you want to achieve anything in life, if you want to reach the heights you're capable of, you're going to have to deal with doubt. It's one of the most insidious forces we face, and it's not just something that happens once and goes away. No, doubt has a way of creeping back into your mind at the worst possible times. It finds the cracks in your confidence and starts to fill them with uncertainty. And let me be clear, if you let doubt take hold, if you let it sit there and grow, it will suffocate your dreams. Doubt has many faces. It whispers, it shouts, it sometimes seems like it's trying to protect you, like it's doing you a favor by keeping you safe, but in reality, it's only holding you back. It's the voice that tells you you're not ready or you don't have what it takes. Or worse yet, you're not good enough, and the scariest thing about doubt is that if you let it run its course, you will start believing it. You will start to internalize those thoughts until they become your reality. That's the trap. You think you're protecting yourself from failure, but in truth, you're setting yourself up for it. So how do we overcome this? How do we shut down that voice of doubt before it takes root? First, you need to recognize it for what it is, a lie. Plain and simple. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it won't challenge you. But you've got to face the fact that doubt is a liar. It's a trickster. It's the enemy of progress. And if you want to move forward, if you want to break through, you've got to call it out for what it is. You know that voice, the one that tells you you're not good enough, the one that makes you question your ability to succeed. That's the voice of your fears. That's the voice of your insecurities, but it's not reality. It's a distorted picture your mind creates to keep you in a state of comfort, in a state of inaction. That voice will tell you, wait until you're more prepared. Wait until the time is right, but let me tell you something, the time is never going to feel 100% right. You'll never have everything figured out. The perfect conditions, they don't exist. What you need to do is shut that voice down, drown it out with action, and prove to yourself that you are capable right here, right now. Now, here's the thing, overcoming doubt doesn't mean you don't experience it anymore. Doubt is a human condition, a part of being alive. It's a natural response to risk, to stepping into the unknown. But the difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck is how they respond to it. When doubt shows up, you can either let it paralyze you or you can use it as fuel. Doubt, in a way, can be a sign that you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone, that you're challenging yourself to grow. It's not a sign that you should retreat. It's a sign that you're on the right track. The key is to not let doubt control the narrative. Instead, use it as an opportunity to reaffirm your purpose. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? What's the bigger picture here? Remind yourself of your goals, your mission, and your worth. It's about developing that inner belief, that unshakable foundation of confidence that allows you to take action in spite of your doubts. This is where self-belief comes in. When doubt creeps in, it's not just about shutting the negative thoughts down, it's about replacing them with positive ones. It's about building your mindset to be one that is rooted in confidence, not arrogance, but confidence in your abilities, in your vision, and in your capacity to learn and grow. You see, the opposite of doubt isn't just certainty. The opposite of doubt is action. Action is the antidote. Because when you start moving forward, when you take 1 step, 2 steps, 10 steps in the direction of your dreams, doubt has less power. The more you push through fear, the more you confront the uncertainty, the more you silence the inner critic. Every action you take is a small victory over doubt. Every time you do something that scares you, every time you move, even though you're uncertain, you're proving to yourself that you can handle whatever comes your way. But it's not just about taking any action, it's about deliberate, focused action. You've got to know what you're working toward. You've got to be clear on your goals, your purpose. That way, even when doubt shows up, you've got a clear reason to keep moving forward. You've got to be strong in your vision, strong in your purpose, so that when the fear and the doubt come, they don't throw you off course. One of the most powerful things you can do when you face doubt is take control of your thoughts. The mind is a powerful tool, but it's also a battleground. The things you think, the things you believe, they shape your reality. So when that voice of doubt starts speaking, you've got to speak back. You've got to tell yourself, I am capable. I am worthy. I am not going to let fear control me, and it's not about ignoring the doubt. It's about overpowering it with the truth. The truth is, you are good enough. The truth is, you are capable of more than you think. The truth is, your past doesn't define your future. Don't let your mistakes, your failures, or your limitations from yesterday control what you do today. You are not the sum of your past mistakes. You are the sum of your potential, your drive, your ambition, and your willingness to keep pushing forward no matter what. And let me tell you, one of the most powerful ways to shut down doubt is through small wins. It doesn't matter how big or small they are. Every victory, every step forward, every challenge you overcome is a direct hit to doubt. The more you succeed, the less doubt will have space in your mind. So start small, start with what you can do today, and use that momentum to keep going. Every action you take is a brick in the foundation of your confidence. Now, you've got to be honest with yourself, because doubt thrives on self-sabotage. It thrives when you don't believe in yourself, when you don't trust your abilities, when you hold back because you're afraid of what might happen. But here's the truth. The only thing holding you back is you. It's the stories you tell yourself, the beliefs you've internalized about what's possible for you. So stop waiting for permission. Stop waiting for someone else to give you the green light. You've got the power inside you to go after what you want, to break through, to silence that inner critic, and to take action in spite of the fear. Failure, by the way, is not something to fear. Failure is simply feedback. It's not a reflection of who you are as a person. It's just part of the journey. Everyone who has ever done something great has failed at some point. They've fallen, they've stumbled, but they didn't let that define them. They didn't let failure tell them that they weren't good enough. No, they got up, they learned from it, and they kept moving forward. Because the truth is, failure is not a dead end. It's part of the process. If you're not failing at something, you're probably not pushing hard enough. And that's another key point. Failure isn't permanent, and neither is doubt. Doubt comes and goes. It ebbs and flows, but it doesn't have to define your actions. Don't let it be the thing that controls your decisions. Don't let it be the thing that stops you from trying. It's only when you stop trying that doubt wins. It's only when you let fear and uncertainty control your every move that you stay stuck. And staying stuck, that's the real failure. You've been there before. The feeling of knowing there's something important you should be doing, but instead you find yourself putting it off. The clock keeps ticking, the days go by, and you keep telling yourself you'll get to it later. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, maybe when things settle down a bit. But you know what? Things never settle down. The time never feels just right. And before you know it, weeks, months, and even years have gone by, and you're still in the same place, stuck in that cycle of procrastination. And it's not just about pushing things off, it's about the way procrastination steals your potential. It doesn't just keep you from getting things done. No, procrastination does much more than that. It undermines your growth. It chips away at your confidence. It erodes your self-discipline. Every time you put something off, every time you delay doing the work that needs to be done, you reinforce the habit of avoidance. And over time, you start to believe that maybe you can't handle the task, or maybe you're not capable of accomplishing what you've set out to do. Procrastination becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more you put it off, the more you delay taking action, the bigger the task seems, the more overwhelming it becomes. But let me tell you right now, procrastination is a choice. It may feel like you're stuck or powerless, like something outside of you is controlling the situation, but I'm here to tell you, you have the power to change it. You have the power to break that habit, to take control of your time, and to get things done. But it starts with understanding exactly what procrastination is and how it works against you. Procrastination is often fueled by fear. You procrastinate because you're afraid of failure, afraid of making mistakes, afraid of how difficult the task might be. It's easier to avoid doing something that feels hard or uncomfortable than to face it head on. But here's the thing, avoiding the work doesn't make it go away. It just makes the pressure build. And what's worse, the longer you procrastinate, the more anxiety you build around the task. You make the mountain bigger and scarier in your mind. You create a story in your head that tells you how impossible it is to tackle what's in front of you. The truth is, the fear of doing something is often much worse than doing the thing itself. How many times have you put something off only to finally do it and realize, wow, that wasn't as bad as I thought? The fear you had going into it wasn't based on reality. It was based on the story you created in your mind, the story where everything went wrong, where you failed, where you couldn't handle it. But when you finally take action, you realize you can handle it. You realize that the fear was just an illusion. The key to overcoming procrastination is breaking that cycle, challenging the fear head on, and realizing that action is the antidote. Action breaks the cycle of avoidance. Action disrupts the story in your head that tells you it's too difficult, too overwhelming, or too scary. When you take that first step, no matter how small, you're proving to yourself that you are capable, that you can handle whatever challenge lies ahead. But it's not just about taking action once. It's about creating a new pattern in your life. It's about developing the habit of showing up consistently even when you don't feel like it, even when the task feels overwhelming or uncomfortable. The key to overcoming procrastination is building momentum. And the way you build momentum is by doing the work day in, day out. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably saying, but I'm just too busy. I've got too many things going on. I get it. Life can feel overwhelming. There are always a million things pulling for your attention, distractions everywhere you look. But let me tell you something: you don't find time, you make time. If you want to break free from procrastination, you've got to make time for what matters. You've got to prioritize the things that are most important, and that means creating space in your life for the work that will move you forward. The truth is, procrastination is often the result of a lack of focus. It's easy to get distracted when you're not clear on what you're working toward. When you don't have a clear goal in mind, it's easy to waste time on things that don't matter. You have to get crystal clear about your priorities. You have to create a vision for where you want to go and then break that vision down into actionable steps. Once you know exactly what you need to do, you can stop wasting time on the things that don't serve you. A key part of overcoming procrastination is taking responsibility for your actions or inaction. You've got to stop blaming external factors for your lack of progress. It's easy to say, I didn't have enough time, or I was too tired, or I didn't know how to do it. But the truth is, you are in control of your time and your actions. It's your responsibility to show up for yourself, to take action, and to push through the distractions. Stop waiting for the perfect moment because it doesn't exist. There's no magic day when everything aligns perfectly, when you suddenly feel motivated, when you feel ready. You make your own moments, you create your own opportunities. And here's something that's even more important: don't wait for motivation. A lot of people think they need to feel motivated in order to get started. They wait for that burst of inspiration, for that wave of energy to hit them. But motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Sometimes it's there and sometimes it's not. And if you rely on motivation to get you through the tough times, you'll always be disappointed. But what if you didn't need motivation? What if you relied on something more powerful: discipline? Discipline is the key to breaking the cycle of procrastination. It's about committing to the work even when you don't feel like it. It's about showing up every day, doing the work even when the motivation is gone, even when it's hard, even when you'd rather be doing something else. Discipline is what carries you through when motivation fades. Discipline is what helps you stay on track, stay focused, and keep moving forward no matter how difficult the journey may seem. You can build discipline by creating small, achievable goals. When you break your tasks down into smaller pieces, the work becomes less overwhelming. You stop looking at the entire mountain and start focusing on one step at a time. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds momentum. Each step takes you closer to the finish line. And when you start seeing the progress, even in small increments, you'll feel more confident. You'll start to build the belief that you can do this, that you can handle the work, and that you can finish what you start. But discipline doesn't just come from willpower. It also comes from creating systems that support your success. This means setting up your environment in a way that encourages productivity and minimizes distractions. It means eliminating things that pull you off course, creating a routine that helps you stay focused, and surrounding yourself with people who inspire and motivate you. When you set yourself up for success, when you create an environment where doing the work is easier than avoiding it, you will see significant progress. The next piece of the puzzle is letting go of perfectionism. Many people procrastinate because they feel like they need to do everything perfectly. We all have a voice in our heads. The voice that tells us what we're capable of, what we deserve, what we can achieve. But here's the thing: sometimes that voice isn't your friend. It's not your ally. More often than not, that voice is the one holding you back, keeping you small, convincing you that you're not enough, that you don't have what it takes, that your dreams are too big, too unrealistic. That voice feeds you a steady diet of negativity, doubt, and fear. It's the voice of your limiting beliefs, the thoughts that trap you, the ideas that hold you prisoner in your own mind. If you want to break free, if you want to achieve your potential and go after what you truly want in life, you have to deal with these negative and limiting mindsets. You can't let them control your thoughts, your actions, and your future. Because the truth is, these mindsets are the biggest barrier to your success. They're not real. They're just stories you've been telling yourself for years. And the worst part, you start to believe those stories. You start to believe that you're not worthy, that you're not capable, that you don't deserve success. And once you start to believe that, it shapes your behavior, your decisions, in your life. But the good news is, once you recognize these limiting beliefs, once you see them for what they are, you can tear them down. You can replace them with something more powerful, something that propels you forward instead of holding you back. Let me tell you something, your mind is incredibly powerful. Whatever you feed it, it will believe. If you feed it negativity, self-doubt, and fear, that's exactly what you'll get. You'll get a life defined by hesitation, uncertainty, and missed opportunities. But if you start feeding it positivity, belief in yourself, and a vision of who you can become, your actions will change. The way you see yourself will change. The way you approach challenges will change. And the life you're capable of creating will change. The first thing you need to do is become aware of the negative thoughts and beliefs that are running in your mind. Too often, we let these thoughts run unchecked. We don't even realize that they're there, shaping our reality. These negative thoughts don't always shout. They whisper. They sneak into your mind when you're not paying attention. They show up when you're about to take a risk, when you're about to push yourself, when you're on the verge of doing something that's going to move you forward. And that's when they pounce. They tell you, you can't do this, you're not good enough. What if you fail? What if you embarrass yourself? They create a sense of fear, and fear makes you freeze. Fear makes you back down. Fear stops you from taking action. But let me tell you something, fear isn't a sign that you shouldn't do something. Fear is a sign that you're pushing against your limits. Fear is a sign that you're stepping into unknown territory, and that's where growth happens. So the first step in eliminating negative and limiting mindsets is to recognize fear for what it is, an opportunity to expand, to learn, to grow. When you feel that fear, don't let it control you. Use it as fuel. Step into it. Push through it. On the other side of fear is freedom, the freedom to be your true self, the freedom to create the life you want, and the freedom to achieve your potential. But this requires challenging your beliefs. Most of the time, the negative thoughts and limiting beliefs we hold aren't based on facts. They're based on assumptions, past experiences, or even things other people have said to us. We might have failed in the past, and now we think we're doomed to fail again. We might have been told we're not smart enough, talented enough, or capable enough, and we internalize that. And then because we believe it, we start to act in ways that prove our limiting beliefs true. We hold back, we don't take risks, we don't put ourselves out there, we stay small, safe, and comfortable because we're afraid of failing. And we're afraid of being judged. But here's the thing, you are not defined by your past. Your past is just that, the past. It doesn't dictate your future unless you let it. You can change your story at any time. You can choose to believe something different about yourself. The moment you realize that your limiting beliefs are just that, beliefs, not facts, you can start to challenge them. You can start replacing them with more empowering beliefs that push you forward instead of holding you back. You see, beliefs are not set in stone. They are flexible and they can be changed. You can change what you believe about yourself. You can change what you believe about your potential. If you believe you're not good enough, you can choose to believe that you are worthy of success. If you believe you're not smart enough, you can choose to believe that you can learn, that you can grow, that you can develop the skills you need. The key is to question everything that doesn't serve you, to take a hard look at the thoughts that are limiting you and replace them with the truth you are capable. You are worthy. You have what it takes. But this takes work. You can't just wake up one day and decide to have a new mindset. It doesn't work like that. You have to retrain your brain. And you do that through consistent, deliberate practice. Start by being mindful of your thoughts. Start catching yourself when you slip into negativity. Notice when you start to think, I can't do this, or this is too hard, or I'm not good enough. When you catch those thoughts, interrupt them. Stop them in their tracks. Challenge them. Ask yourself, is this really true? Where's the evidence for this thought? And then replace the negative thought with a more empowering one. For example, instead of thinking, I can't do this, think, I may not know how to do this right now, but I can figure it out. I am capable of learning and growing. This is how you start to rewire your brain, how you start to change your mindset from one of limitation to one of possibility. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes. Your mind will begin to shift. You'll start to see opportunities instead of obstacles. You'll start to believe in yourself and your abilities. And the best part, your actions will follow. When you change the way you think, you change the way you act. You'll take bolder steps, you'll take more risks, and you'll start making progress toward your goals. Another key to eliminating negative and limiting mindsets is surrounding yourself with positive influences. The people you surround yourself with have a huge impact on the way you think. If you're constantly around people who are negative, who reinforce your doubts and fears, it's going to be much harder to break free from those limiting beliefs. But if you surround yourself with people who encourage you, who believe in you, who challenge you to be better, it's going to be a lot easier to adopt a positive mindset. You need to seek out people who lift you up, who inspire you, who push you to be your best self. And if you can't find those people in your immediate circle, then go out and find them. Join communities, find mentors, surround yourself with people who are on the same path as you, people who have the mindset you want to adopt. Positive influences can be a game changer when it comes to breaking free from negative mindsets. But let me be clear, you don't need anyone's permission to go after your dreams. If you want to eliminate the negative mindsets that are holding you back, you have to take ownership of your own growth. You have to decide right now that you are going to break free from these limiting beliefs and make a change. It starts with you. No one else can do this for you. You are the one who has to take the first step, the one who has to make the choice to believe in yourself, to believe that your dreams are possible, and to go after them relentlessly. In the end, limiting beliefs are not facts, they're just stories. And the beauty of that is you get to choose the story you tell yourself. You get to choose whether you believe you're capable or not. You get to choose whether you let fear and doubt control you or whether you let confidence and belief drive you forward. Every day you have the power to rewrite the narrative in your mind. So ask yourself, what story do you want to tell? What do you want to believe about yourself? You've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with now. I know some of you may have heard this quote before and brushed it off as just another motivational platitude. But let me tell you something, this is one of the most powerful truths you can ever internalize. The people you surround yourself with have a profound influence on your life, your mindset, and your success. It's not just about who you spend time with, it's about who you let into your mental and emotional space. The energy, the ideas, and the attitudes of the people around you shape who you become. They influence your thoughts, your decisions, your actions, and ultimately the direction your life will take. Think about it for a second. When you're around people who are constantly complaining, who see problems instead of solutions, who focus on limitations instead of possibilities, how do you feel? Do you feel inspired? Do you feel motivated to take bold action? Or do you start to adopt the same negative mindset? Do you start to see the world through their lens? Do you start to believe that it's all too hard, too complicated, too impossible? When you surround yourself with people who don't believe in themselves, who don't believe in you, who aren't pushing themselves to grow, it's easy to fall into that same trap. It's easy to get sucked into their energy and start to doubt your own potential. On the other hand, when you're around people who are hungry, people who are working toward big goals, people who are constantly challenging themselves, people who believe in possibility, the entire atmosphere shifts. You feel energized. You feel like you can do anything. You start to believe that if they can do it, so can you. You start to raise your standards. You start to believe in the bigger vision for your life because they believe in theirs. Their passion, their drive, their belief in themselves rubs off on you. You begin to adopt their mindset, their habits, their work ethic, and that's how you grow. You elevate your own thinking, your own standards, your own actions. The truth is, your environment will either fuel your success or drain it. It's that simple. The people you surround yourself with have a direct impact on how you see yourself, how you see the world, and how you approach the challenges that come your way. So the question is, who are you spending your time with? Are they helping you move towards your goals, or are they holding you back? Are they pushing you to become the best version of yourself, or are they keeping you stuck in comfort, in complacency, and mediocrity? It's easy to get comfortable in relationships, especially with family and longtime friends. You've known these people for years, and there's a sense of security in that familiarity. But sometimes the people who love you the most can also be the ones who unintentionally hold you back. Not because they want to, but because they've bought into their own limitations. They've gotten comfortable in their own lives, and they don't see the possibility for growth, for something greater. And if you're not careful, you'll fall into that same mindset. You'll start to believe that staying where you are is good enough because that's the story they're telling themselves. That's why it's so important to surround yourself with people who are constantly evolving, people who are willing to challenge the status quo, people who see opportunities where others see obstacles. If you want to level up in life, you have to surround yourself with people who are already living at the level you want to reach or even higher. It doesn't mean you need to cut off everyone who doesn't share your vision. But it does mean you need to be intentional about who you let influence you. You have to be conscious about who you allow to shape your thinking and your energy. But it's not just about the people who are ahead of you. It's also about surrounding yourself with people who are on the same path. People who are motivated, driven, and committed to growing. You need a circle that challenges you, that holds you accountable, and that encourages you when you're feeling down. You need people who understand the struggle and the hustle because they're in it with you. These are the people who will push you, who will lift you up when you're feeling discouraged, who will call you out when you're slacking, and who will remind you of your purpose when you lose sight of it. Sometimes the hardest part about surrounding yourself with the right people is letting go of the wrong ones. It's not about cutting people out of your life out of malice. But if someone consistently drains your energy, if someone continually undermines your dreams or holds you back with negativity, it might be time to reevaluate that relationship. The truth is, we can't afford to spend time with people who don't align with the life we're trying to build. We can't afford to let people who are stuck in their own limitations drag us down with them. Now, I'm not saying you need to isolate yourself or only associate with people who are better than you. It's not about ego or competition, but it's about energy. It's about the vibe. You need to surround yourself with people who have a growth mindset. People who aren't satisfied with the way things are, who are always looking for ways to improve, who believe in abundance, not scarcity, and who see setbacks as opportunities for growth. These people will challenge you. They will inspire you. They will stretch your thinking. They will make you uncomfortable, but in a good way. They will push you to become more than you are right now. And it's not just about finding the right people in your personal circle. It's also about seeking out mentors, people who have walked the path before you, people who have achieved what you want to achieve and who can offer guidance, wisdom, and perspective. A mentor doesn't have to be someone you know personally. It could be someone whose work you admire, someone you learn from through books, podcasts, or online courses. A mentor helps you see things from a different perspective. They help you avoid the mistakes they made and teach you the lessons they've learned along the way. They inspire you to think bigger and to stretch yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Mentors can help you break through the barriers of self-doubt, limiting beliefs, and fear. They can offer insight that accelerates your growth, shorten your learning curve, and help you navigate the obstacles that come with pursuing big goals. When you have the right people in your life, people who believe in your potential, who are living proof of what's possible, who are willing to guide you, you gain the confidence and clarity to keep going, even when things get tough. Now, I'm not saying you should expect your mentors or your circle to always agree with you. In fact, if they do, then maybe you're not challenging yourself enough. The right people won't just tell you what you want to hear. They'll tell you what you need to hear. They'll call you out when you're slacking or when you're making excuses. They'll push you beyond your comfort zone. They'll ask the tough questions that force you to think critically about your goals and your actions. They'll help you see the potential you can't yet see in yourself. And that's the kind of influence you need in your life if you're serious about achieving greatness. Another aspect of surrounding yourself with the right people is creating an environment that supports your vision. You can have all the right people in your life, but if you're not in the right environment, your growth will be limited. Environment is everything. If you want to thrive, you need to surround yourself with positive influences. But you also need to create a physical environment that reflects your ambitions. This might mean cleaning up your space, organizing your time, or even setting up reminders that keep you on track. It might mean eliminating distractions, setting boundaries, or saying no to things that don't align with your goals. The environment you create for yourself, from the people you spend time with to the physical space you inhabit, either supports your growth or holds you back. The right people will encourage you to create that environment. And once you do, it will propel you forward, helping you stay focused, inspired, and motivated to keep moving towards your goals. At the end of the day, it all comes down to intentionality. Be intentional about the people you allow into your life. Be intentional about the influences you surround yourself with. Your circle will either elevate you or bring you down. They'll either help you expand your thinking or they'll reinforce your limitations. And once you recognize the power of this, once you realize that you have the power to choose who you spend your time with, you can start to make more conscious decisions about where you invest your energy. You don't need to go at it alone. You don't have to figure everything out by yourself. When you surround yourself with the right people, with those who lift you up and inspire you, the journey becomes easier, the vision becomes clearer, and the results become inevitable.